how do you deal with what you're selling and the reality of whether the person that's buying it can actually afford it? You know, in other words, like, do you feel any responsibility if they're over? I mean, you never totally know, and it's their decision. But at the same time, you've been in this long enough that you could probably look at what amount of money I'm bringing in and tell whether or not I'm really going to be able to afford the payment. How do you wrestle with that at all? How do you deal with that?
I do. I feel that I have to do right by people, right? I feel that I have an obligation to guide you in the right way, to provide you options. So if I do see that you're going into a home and just based on pure numbers, right? And the mortgage world, we look at the gross income. We don't look at the net. Obviously, the net is what you really bring home. The net is what you actually could afford to pay the monthly payment. And what we see is credit cards and debt. We don't see if you have kids, if you have any childcare. We don't see the amount of money you spend on food. We don't see your phone bill, right? There's certain things that we don't see, which that's where we have a genuine conversation with the customer. And that's why I focus so much on the monthly payment. I don't focus on the pre-approval amount or the purchase price. And I'll be the first to tell you, hey, based on, I'll kind of check the customer. If I see them go above what they told me, hey, based on the conversation we had 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago, you said you want to be in this payment. Did something change? Right? Because sometimes we might fall in love with a property.
Yeah.
That is, like, say, $500 more a month. And, you know, your spouse fell in love with it. You fell in love with it. You're like, man, I see myself, you know, raising my family here. You might make the sacrifice for the extra $500. So if you tell me you're okay with that, I have an obligation to do right by you and proceed.
All right.
But if somebody comes and tells me, you know, Yoster, I told you I want this payment, but now I'm looking here and it's going to be tight. I think I can make ends meet. I'll look at your reserves. If I see you don't have enough reserves, I'll be like, listen, you might want to take a step back. Think about your family. Think about it. The day more you lose your job, how many months do you have to pay for this property to find a new job?
Yeah.
Right. Like, how are you going to protect your family?
Right.
And
yeah.